Caribbean Kitchen Foods, your number one low sodium Jamaican seasoning. Enjoy the best flavors of Jamaica with Caribbean Kitchen Spices. Order online today at www.caribkfoods.com. Enjoy the taste of the islands with less salt and more flavors.
Looking at the clock, gotta get the work done. Good morning. Searching my heart, looking at the clock, gotta get the work done. Good morning. Paid all my bills, got a few meals, gotta get the work done. Good morning. My bad, I done flipped out, but thank you for what you need. Got a bad phone call, they tryna mess my day. I'm on borrowed time, and now you don't play. You look too clean, hell for the way too clean. Sunlight shine,
Hey.
too clean, too clean. Color for the way too clean. Sunlight shine, like clean hot. Color for the way too clean. Stepped outside, took a deep breath, life smell better than it used to. Got a new world, new attitude, I can tell this ain't what they used to. Seen an old friend at the bar, I didn't go in like I used to. My bad, I say it again, thank you for what you need. Got a bad phone call, they tryna mess my day. I'm on borrowed time, and now you don't play. You look too clean, better feel the way too clean. Sunlight shine, too clean, too clean. Better feel the way too clean.
What up, though, y'all? Y'all all right? Come on up in here. Like, share, and comment from where y'all are watching. What up, though?
What it do?
What's going on? I'm your girl, Berakah and Ngozi. And that is...
I'm Yah'Chokmah. What up, though?
So y'all know what it is. This is the recap. Tonight, we will absolutely be going over what happened at 2025's Pesach and Unleavened Bread Feast Day Festivals. We got some guests that will be joining us tonight. For those of y'all who are not aware of what a feast day is, you may look it up in Leviticus 23. Y'all hear me talking about it. If you're on my page, you hear me talking about it all the time. For approximately
25 years.
Something like that. For the last 14. The feast days is the Hebrew word moedim, right? Anytime you see that, and actually I did a little, story lesson on it. Moedim shows up in the Hebrew text at least 223 times, y'all. Mm-hmm. So that should tell you right there that this is a very important thing to Abba Yahuwah. So if you want, start looking up everywhere you see the terminology, Hebrew terminology, Moedim, and start studying so that you can get a better understanding of what a Moedim really is. But nonetheless, we're not going to labor the time because I do this every year. It's not necessary. If you want more understanding of the feast days, jump in my stories. I'm always talking about it. But today, I want to talk to a few people that actually came to Burkesville. That's where we were at.
Berkeyville,
We was in no man's land, y'all,
like always. But it's cool though.
with tornadoes and everything.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yes, we will. So we've got guests tonight, so you won't just be hearing from myself and Yah'Chokmah tonight because baby girl ain't got no voice.
For those that might be new, you want to tell them what them names mean because they don't know us.
Oh, they don't. Y'all know us as Ro and Michi,
It's been there for a long time,
right? And Abba decided to change our names. So I'm gonna tell you what mine is. My name means Yah's favor or Yah's blessing. It also means a benediction. It also means prosperity. And Yah'Chokmah means,
if you read it from left to right, is Yah's wisdom or God's wisdom. And if you read it from right to left, like it is actually like Hebrew words are read from right to left, it's wisdom of Yah. And that is actually how I thought of it, kind of put it together. So it means wisdom of Yah. Because I be needing a child to make it in this world.
but if y'all really know Michi, she really is Yah'Chokmah. Homegirl's full of wisdom. Okay. She's absolutely knowledge applied all day long. All right. Getting to the get good. Okay.
Get good.
We've got on here with us the Neelys. And I'm sorry, I don't even know where they're from. I know they're in the country though. I do know. Where y'all from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, y'all wasn't that far then.
Bolivar, Tennessee.
Bolivar, Tennessee. We're in West Tennessee.
All right. So then let me go ahead and formally introduce you to our guests. Tonight, you guys, we have Latasha as well as Barry, her husband, her Ish and Isha. That's what the terminology for Hebrew is.
Yes.
Ish and Isha. Okay. I'm saying it on this side because the gentleman is on this side. So it's Ish and Isha, and she's the wife. Okay. And that is Barry and Akoti, which means brother and my sister, Akoti, Latasha are their names, and we're so happy to have y'all on tonight with us. But I'm gonna be my own. And then up above, we got our sister here in the Detroit area.
Detroit.
It is Bonita, but her name in Hebrew is Imuna. Okay. Hello, my love. How are you?
Shalom. What up, though?
Yeah.
Now, listen, y'all, we're in for a really great treat tonight. There are two more individuals that will be joining us. And whenever they get in, we will introduce them. But for the meantime,
In between time.
hello.
Sorry.
Meantime.
Had a little moment.
Now, while we got them up, we're going to ask them a couple of questions in regards to this year's feast days. Now, Imuna, this is not her first rodeo with the feast. Look at her like, no, it's not, boo. Not at all.
I love your glasses, by the way. Those is fire.
What love letter you over here writing to Ben?
Man with the gift from upstairs.
Oh,
Mind your business. Blessings.
okay. So it's not Vanita's, Emina's first time going to the feast days. However, the contrast here is it is the first time for the Neelys. So we're going to hear two very different point of views tonight. And again, once our two additional parties jump in, we will hear again some contrast. So just to kind of give y'all some background, we have a married couple in front of you, and then we have someone who is single, non-married, right? So you're going to hear this from two different perspectives, and that is the whole purpose for tonight's show, so that you guys can get a better understanding of what to experience in the feast days. And if y'all hear anybody in the background, it's Maury being like we ain't in the whole video.
I don't know what's happening
Like I don't know what's happening. Like he knows what we doing, and he's like, we put no respect on our name right now. But nonetheless, it's his house. So let me shut up before I get put out. All right. All right. Let's get started. Now, if you don't mind, I want to start with the Neelys.
Okay.
You all right? This was your first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how did you find out this was your first time coming to not just a feast day, but also doing anything with Great Awakening, correct?
Correct.
How did y'all find out about Great Awakening?
Well, I think when you introduced, didn't somebody introduce you to Dr.
Mia Skipworth, I think is her last name, from the Georgia hub, from the Atlanta hub.
Okay.
So she told me about Dr. Howard, and I kind of started watching him and listening to some of his teachings, and mentioned him to my husband, and he started to look at some of them as well. And you know what's interesting about the whole thing is that when we first started listening to Dr. Howard, we were just like,
Man, this dude a professor, man. He gonna run over my head.
I don't know about that.
No, that's right.
This dude carrying me too fast, man. You know, let me go a little bit, you know.
Like, oh no, man, I don't know about that. These words right here, we gonna need a thesaurus, a dictionary.
Not the thesaurus.
The encyclopedia and everything.
And so we're down here in the country, so everybody that's from the city, you know, like we watch out for city slickers.
Yes.
You know, and so we got them in my house. Wait a minute, I'll check them out again another day. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I started listening to him. I'm like, wait a minute.
Nothing.
Wait a minute.
Like,
I mean, he's educated. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But he's just the truth. But he's just brilliant with it. You
and
know?
he's so humble.
And to see his heart in it.
Yes.
And when I heard him, you know, say that he came out of the church, you know, we wasn't just getting nobody without any experience. You know, that was
key.
Yeah,
that was key.
Right.
So that's how we ended up following GAI online, and we figured out, you know, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to start keeping these feast days, because this is what the Most High has commanded us to do, and the rest is history. This was our first of many.
Yeah. We talked about going to one. It didn't matter to us. We just wanted to go to somebody's feast day.
Okay.
But we just happened to land on GAI because in the previous weeks I had been watching a lot of Dr. Howard. I had been binge watching him and taking notes and just listening to him. And I said, wherever they're going, we got to find out.
We're going. It was divine.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
It was.
Okay, well, I see we have our two additional guests that have joined us today, so I want to make sure we introduce them. My sis, my Koti, Tamiki
I think she might be frozen.
Is she frozen?
She might be frozen.
Tamiki, if you can hear us, please say something.
Hey.
Yeah, we can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
ma'am.
can. Yes, we can. We're so glad that you're able to join us.
Now y'all are really choppy, so I'm struggling a little bit, but go ahead and try again, because it just sounds like really robotic.
Oh, we sound like Optimus Prime right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Is it
I've
better
had to
now?
restart my phone. That's better.
Okay.
That's
So this
better.
is your first time. Tell us where you tuning in from. Where do you reside? What state?
Texas, Dallas to be exact.
Oh, you came from Dallas all the way to Kentucky.
Wow.
Did you fly or did you drive?
Yes, ma'am. I had to be there. No, we drove.
Oh.
Yeah, it was it's actually a caravan. From my Houston, Bay at Shema. So actually I took a bus from Dallas to Texarkana, and they picked me up from there. And from there,
wow.
we made it to Kentucky.
And how long is that drive?
Yeah, our praises. Ooh, About 14 hours,
Oh,
maybe a little longer.
wow.
Yeah, but it was well worth it. Well worth it.
Baby,
Well worth
what?
it.
14 hours. Who ankles was swollen?
Uh-oh, you got the Optimus Prime
Oh,
going again. Say it one more time.
Optimus Prime on my jokes. Dang. Okay. Well, we also have the Zamaria in. And if you do not know who Zamaria is one of our Hebraic artists in this community. Baby, if y'all ain't got his music, I don't know what to tell y'all. You're playing yourself. That's what you're doing. Okay. He did worship and
did an amazing job.
yes, he did.
Awesome.
Amazing job.
Yes. Yeah. What they said, I couldn't even get it out. So please, everybody, please welcome Zamaria to our session tonight.
That's our own little person like sound effects.
Right, we ain't got no sound effects. It's a little ghetto right now, so we're just using our real hands. Zamar, can you tell us where you tuning in from? Where do you reside? What state?
I'm in North Carolina, Greensboro to be exact.
All right. So did you drive in or did you fly in?
I got flown in.
Okay. All right. How long was that flight?
Not even 2 hours. Probably like
okay.
Hour and 45. We flew to we had to fly into Nashville.
Okay.
That was the closest airport, so it wasn't that far of a flight, but you know, I think it was like a 2-hour drive to the actual place.
Right.
So
yeah. Okay.
4-hour trip.
All right. So was everybody on campus for the full duration, or did y'all, come in at different times? Both Meech and I came in Sunday, actually. So how long were you in, Zamar?
I got in on a Tuesday, and I was there. We left on Sunday.
Okay, so yeah, he was there for the whole time. And Imina?
I was there for the entire time.
Same, came Tuesday, left Sunday.
Okay. And the Neelys, how long were you guys in? Tuesday. And I believe because we just lost Tamiki out, she should be back in soon. But I seen her on a Tuesday. And speaking of, there she go. I seen her on a Tuesday, so I know for sure she was there on Tuesday. All right. So we're gonna get into the meat and the potatoes. We're gonna go around with questions. Just be mindful of your answers and timing. Get straight to the point if you can, so that we're not holding everybody and answering these questions. So I'm gonna start with you, Zamar. Was this your first time for Feast Day? I know that.
No, this was it was my first Pesach with y'all, but I was actually at the Tabernacles with y'all in Golina last year.
Yes, I wasn't there. That's right. I was the one who was missing in action. Was this your first Pesach? Or is this your first Pesach?
Yes, this is my first Pesach with GAI.
Awesome.
Yes, my first one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have kept Pesach before?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Overall, how many feast days have you actually partaken in? Do you recall?
I haven't exactly kept count, but it's been I've been in this walk for about 5.5, probably 5 years, not 5.5 quite. So how many ever feast days come with that? That's
got you. Yep. All right. So we'll just say you've done 5 years of feast days. We got you because me and her.
There we go.
We're in the same boat. All right. 35, huh? Okay. So the Neelys being a new couple to coming to GAI, to my understanding, you guys are not actually affiliated with any assembly or worship hub with GAI, Great Awakening International. So you guys came as like you are Mishpachah, because obviously there's GAI doesn't have membership. There's no such thing as membership or anything like that concerning the nation of Yasharel. We are a nation, not a church.
Right.
So most people have to get that understanding that this is not church. While we do things that look like church It ain't church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta get that understanding.
Yes.
Yes, you see worship, and worship happens in church. Yeah, yes, you do see. But see, please be reminded when we go to baseball games, we do a little bit of worship to the nation. We do sing that song. We pledge our allegiances. All right, so that's what you see when you see us doing worship. We're pledging our allegiance to Abba. Okay, we pledge our allegiance to our nation that Abba has, created for us. So just want to clear that up and make that very clear. So they're not actually a part of any assembly with GAI. They just came in as Mishpachah, meaning that they are family, meaning that they know they are part of one tribe. Which tribe they may not know. Do y'all know what tribes y'all from?
Where from, babe?
What tribe we from? I would guess Judah.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna put you on the front line.
Right. You ready for war, baby?
No. Anyway, so now that we got that out the way, what was your expectations coming in? Because y'all don't know nobody other than me, apparently. You don't know nobody. You have no clue what this environment y'all are walking into, and it's just y'all. And you about to do communal living with 403 people. What was your expectations, and did we meet it?
We're from the country, but we're not shy about like in the church. We would go to different churches that we hadn't ever been to before, and she's accustomed to a lot of praise and worship. I'll let her tell you about all of that though. But for me, I was drawn by Dr. Howard and watching some of the worship hub and watching some of the Moray and the other hubs, how they just interact with one another and how they walk this truth out and how they teach this truth. And it bear witness to my spirit, my ruach, and so I was drawn. I think she was already drawn to Dr. Howard, but she introduced me to him. She turned me on to him, as we say here in the country. And the teaching was phenomenal. And I could see that the personality matched the teaching. And I wasn't really worried about being around that many people because I felt like if they was affiliated with him, that all of them would be the same. And it was just what I expected it to be. When we got there, I told her, I said, I ain't never been around this many Mishpachah in my life with the same warm greetings that we received from everybody. It was like we wasn't a stranger. It's like we were at home. And it was phenomenal to me to just to be in that environment. I mean, even from when we got out and checked in, I felt home. I was at home. And so just that warm welcome and just running across different ones. Nobody treated you like a stranger. Yeah. Everybody treated you like, you're our family. You're welcome here. And so that weighed in heavy for me as far as me getting settled in. I was settled in the first day. I was ready.
I stayed.
I'm about to say, she got a whole different.
Said something totally different. What's your take on this?
I didn't really know what to expect. I'm like, I don't know if these folks gonna be weird. I don't know. I like Dr. Howard, but I don't know these people. So, and I can have a tendency. I'm a people's person. I like people, but I can have a tendency when I get around a crowd of people, especially people that I don't know, to just kind of my antennas is up. And I'm just like, I don't know. But like my husband said, once I relaxed, I was okay. And to be able to let my kid roam free and not have to worry about anything, that was amazing because I'm super protected. So to be able to allow her to do that, it was just it was amazing. But I tell you, what I received was not what I was initially expecting. I really didn't know what to expect, but it was awesome. It was.
Hold that thought on what you received.
I was looking.
Hold that. I want because we want to hear that. So hold what you have received. Hold that thought on what you received. So let me ask Tamikia, because this was also your first feast day as well, correct?
You talking to me now? I'm sorry.
Oh, so this was still your first feast day, correct?
Well, actually, my first Pesach.
First person Pesach. So, okay.
Yeah.
But this was not your first feast with GAI, was it?
No. I did my first feast, and then two, and now.
Okay. So, because this was your first Pesach, what expectations did you have coming in, getting there? What kind of expectations did you have?
Well, coming from Sukkot, just the family orientation and just the welcoming, I expected that, but my mind could not prepare me enough for what I actually experienced. I was mind blown. I'm telling you, it was just double the love. It was like, it was an elevated experience of love and just the ruach, and it was I tried to come up with some words before tonight, and it's I don't know. I was blessed tremendously. That's all I can say. And my expectations they were over exceeded. So yeah, praise Yah for that. I'm looking forward to Detroit now. So
that sounds like you coming to Shavuot.
Shavuot. Yes.
Hey.
Yes, but yeah, I can't say enough of like all things positive is what I've experienced. But it was amazing. It was amazing. I didn't want to leave. I did not want to leave.
Then I want to come. And I want to come to Zamaria and Vanita. So I'll pick Vanita first, and then we'll come to Zamaria. So Vanita, this being you've already been to several feast days already, and you've already experienced being with the Mishpachah on extensive times. Was there anything different about this feast day from all others?
This one was very different from me because of the work that Yah has been working on me internally with. So I got more deliverance. The worship was at a higher level for me, because my heart was in a different place, deeper with Abi Yahuwah. So the Mishpachah always show up. I know I never have to worry about my children. This year was different because I was actually up there dancing. This was my first time being participatory. So that was different. And just knowing that my children were always good. Like I didn't have to have my eyes on them. Even during the tornado, I was in practice and my babies was already over in the lower level of the dining hall, and I had to look like, where's my babies, but I knew that they were okay. So yeah, I just all praises to Abba. It was like everything that I have experienced was elevated. It was elevated even more.
Y'all, we only been trying to get Vanita on that doggone stage to dance at a feast day for like the last 2 years. So she was an answered prayer for us. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Zamar, because you just recently, I think this is now your second feast day with GAI, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's
back to back. Okay, so Sukkot was where you were at the last go round, and now you have experienced Pesach with Great Awakening. Can I ask the question, what do you think is the differences between the two? Was this a different experience compared to Sukkot? Obviously, we know they are because how they're handled are totally different. But as it relates to you personally, what did you draw out of Sukkot compared to what you drew out of Pesach?
So for the most part, what I will say is I think I got a full experience because I got to stay longer than at Tabernacles. I was only there for like a day and a half, maybe 2 days. I was able to be with y'all in Golena, but I was able to get a full experience this time. I will say, without, before I get to a spiritual side of things from a practical side, I will say not much change as far as like I felt at home. Like I really, because to be honest, I really still don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the Mishpakai and the people, that I do music with and whatnot. I know you guys, but I'm still not really familiar, with the culture and how things go down. So I'm still kind of like walking in unfamiliar territory. So to have that going on, but to still feel at home, to still feel like I don't even think I left the campus like the whole time. And like I didn't have a problem at all. Like it was just like I was at home. Like it was just like Dr. Howard said, man, it was like you were not just among a people, but a nation, and it's like it was dope to see that. Now I'm kind of jumping into the spiritual side of it, man. It's dope to see. Like I feel like the Most High, every time that we come together, it's going to be another level because he's steadily preparing us for the near future and for things to come when he regathers us, man. So it's kind of dope. It is elevated this time was elevated on spiritual levels, but that's just how the Most High works. When we're obedient, when we stay consistent in this thing, we just go from glory to glory. And I can see the growth in us as a people, man, and how we just continue to love on one another, love on the Most High, and just it's just beautiful to watch us become a nation.
Absolutely. Hallelujah. All right. So I have a question, and we're gonna start in the middle. We're gonna go kind of like in the middle. So Tamiki, can you hear us? All right, perfect. So I want to talk about the experience of lodging for you all, because the lodging was a little bit different than what we're used to. Typically, we kind of have, it's always communal, but we had like real communal this time, right? Because we stayed in rooms that had, some rooms were like 16 beds to a cabin type thing. And with this being your first Pesach with us, so Shavuot, you not there that long. Sukkot, were you there for Sukkot the entire time with GAI, Tamikia? Okay. So,
I was.
But even with that, were you in a cabin or were you in a tent?
I started out in a tent, and then we had a rodent problem, so they moved us to the cabin.
Okay.
So even with that, then
So this would have been your first real like communal lodging if you were in the larger cabin with the 16 beds. Is that the type of cabin lodging you were in, or were you in one of the other ones? Okay, so talk about that and kind of explain to us what your experience was with that.
Okay, well, it was beautiful. The first night, actually, I was in the dorm, so I wound up going to. Hey, hold on. But the first 2 nights, I was in the dorm, and then I wound up moving to the communal. I called it a barrack. That's what it reminded me of. But that was still beautiful because I was with some of the Mishpakai from Houston, but I was also with some new Mishpakai, and I'm always about networking. I don't meet any strangers, and just to get to know the people that I've seen on social media or in the worship assemblies throughout the GAI hub, it was so refreshing. It was so refreshing just to meet like-minded people, and the prayers at night, and then just the just the meshing, the gelling together. It's like we knew each other. I mean, minus the ones that I knew already, but it was like the new Mishpachah. It's like there was no ill will towards. It was no negative. It was just all positive, and everybody was just praising the Most High. And I love that. I love meeting new Mishpachah and in hopes to grow together and lean on each other. Just yeah.
Awesome.
I had a beautiful
Awesome.
experience.
I love to hear. Thank you for sharing. So let's go to the Neelys because they were new, and like Rose said, with them being new, and we had over 400 people. So for the Neely family, where did you lodge? Were you in a communal area, or were you in one of the kind of dormitories where I think it was like 2 beds or something in it?
We were in the dorms.
Okay. How many beds were in there? Were you sharing with someone, or was it just you guys?
It was just us. And
okay.
We had beds. It was us and our little girl. So
okay. That's good. So they showed y'all some mercy. Probably because y'all knew. So they had to get scared away the very first time.
That's what it was.
even with you being in the dorm, because we went in one of the dorms, it was kind of like a college dorm. So like you go in one building and you have all these individual rooms. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just being around, how was that for you? Still have, coming out, you're going to see people coming in and out, stuff like that. How was that for you? Got people next to you? Was they up too late? Was they too loud? Because us bros get real loud and we stay up all night long. So how was that experience for you?
Actually, we had a pretty good experience at our room. It's like we were in like an indoor hotel, the way I was.
So y'all got the bougie,
right? Because we ain't had that. We was out there.
We was in the hard knocks.
Like they had y'all in the suites where y'all was praising worshiping, but but yeah, we was on the floor with we was on the second floor. Of course, that was a little tough on us because I had knee surgery the day after I got back home. Oh, wow. But we managed to get everything loaded up, carried up there because we was anxious to get there, and so we was working off of all of that energy and excitement and adrenaline just getting there. So we picked everything up because we brought everything but the kitchen sink.
Yes, we did.
So
it was different not being able to lock the door.
Talk about that.
Let's talk about that's my favorite topic right there.
When they told me that we didn't have to lock the doors, I was skeptical about it at first. But after I guess about 30 minutes of being there, I said, okay, we don't have to lock the doors.
What about you, Tasha? How long did it take you? Was it 30 minutes or was it more like a day or two?
About a day or so, because I'm looking around and I'm just like, we ain't got no key. Got stuff in here. What? Okay.
And it's totally
we've never been around Mishpachah before.
Right.
We've never been around.
Totally understandable. That's something that Ro talks about all the time, because it wasn't something that we ever really thought about. Yeah. And I guess it's because we had been around the Mishpachah for a little while before we actually went to a feast day. But when we started noticing new people when they would come, that would be the first thing that they asked for.
What a key at?
Be like, dang, that is like a thing, isn't it? But like, it's not something that crosses our mind. And it's something that we love to share, that to Benita's point of not knowing where her kids were, but knowing that they were safe. Like, you are literally stress-free typically during these feast days. Like, you can really let your guard down, let your hair down, and just be amongst Mishpachah. No doors locked, but ain't nothing stolen, ain't nothing missing. If you lost something, put it in the chat. You'll come find it. We at the lost and found. And that's it. It's such a beautiful representation of true Mishpachah, true integrity. True Ahava. So
I truly love that. It's one of the things that I recognize quickly when I know someone. When you want to know if somebody's new, they looking for keys. That's the first thing. They're looking to lock their stuff up. But see, the truth of the matter is, that week that we were there, Abba kind of like laid some stuff out for me. We only need keys when we are unsure of our environment and what governs people. But when you're with the Mishpachah, what's governing them is Abba's Ruach and his Torah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get a moment to rest. We actually don't have to be checking over our shoulders. Your nervous system gets a break.
Yeah,
If you're in
absolutely.
an environment that you are sure of, that you can stand on, and you know
Right.
we're all pressing towards the same thing, we're all moving in the same direction. So you're thinking in 5 years, not one thing has ever been stolen or gone missing.
And just looking back after we left, just seeing how much stuff people left.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so
That part. Just
nobody's caring about nobody's stuff.
Right.
They're leaving it.
Right.
exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing that. Miss Imuna, let's go ahead and have you share your lodging experience. How was that for you? Because you have done, this is your third one. Wait, was this your third feast day?
This is my second Pesach. So,
Second Pesach. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember where we were last year.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we was in Kentucky. I was trying to think of the lodging. But talk to us about lodging for you. What was the experience like for you?
It was great. I was in a communal area with three of the Detroit occultes, and it was two new occultes.
Okay.
And me and the two new occultes got acquainted real quick. Like we all introduced ourselves. It was nothing but love. One of the occultes that came kind of late in the night or in the day rather. And she trusted me to hold her baby while she got in the shower. She like, I need to get in the shower. Do you mind holding my baby? And it was nothing but love. And it was like the same thing. Like when I had to go do something or go run out, let's say I forgot something in the dining hall, I was able to go run and come back. Like it was nothing. It was the true definition of Mishpachah was shown, even with new people around. Like it was nothing but love.
That is awesome to hear, and I loves it. Toda for sharing, guys. What's the next question, Barack?
My next question, we about to get a little heavy, y'all. Y'all ready?
Heavy with the heavy shit.
I'm about to go for that little roller coaster. I'm just about to go straight for the juggler. Okay. This question is for everybody. Again, be mindful of your timing. But I want to say it and sit with it and then go on and answer it. What does healing look like to you spiritually, emotionally, and culturally? Now that we did a healing and deliverance service with Morey Oladele, he did 2 parts. So I don't know if y'all saw those questions that got dropped up in there. That one of them questions, went all up in.
Business.
Like the questions reminded me of what a wedgie would feel like. Okay,
Uncomfortable. It was deep.
Why?
She must have understood what I was saying.
Say wedgie.
Yo, wedgie.
Did you say wedgie?
Yes, wedgie. All up in
Oh
your
my
business,
goodness.
okay? Because when you got a wedgie, you want to go high and get it out, right?
Yes.
You don't want nobody to see that you did
Come on,
nothing behind.
Come on, tell the truth. Come on.
That's a perfect analogy, okay? So here's your question.
Leave it.
Let me help you out just in case you're stuck on the wedgie. All right. What does healing look like to you? Emotionally, spiritually, and culturally. Go back to that moment when we were in our healing and deliverance gathering. I want you to tell us what took place in that time frame. What did you experience in that time frame? I'm going to start with Vanita.
Can I add, even if it wasn't, even if it was more than one moment, even beyond the healing and deliverance, maybe it was another session or worship part, just anything.
Yeah, it could have been at the foot gathering. It could have been when you got home. After this Pesach, what comes to mind for you when it relates to healing spiritually, healing emotionally, and healing culturally? Imuna, you have the floor.
So these are some things that I have been working on prior to Pesach. So it was just more so of like confirmation of the things that I have been working on already, and just letting me know, like, to give me the courage and the strength to keep pushing, even though it may be hard. healing is not always a pretty process because you got to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to be accountable and just really do the work. Like you can't just always pray and ask Abba,
That's
okay, heal
good.
me, heal me, heal me, heal me. You know, you literally have to put in just as much work to be delivered and to be healed. And you can't just sit around. So as Oladela was speaking, it was just like confirmation of the work that I was already doing. And when I got home, Abba just showed me some other things that I have to work on. And it was just like, okay, you know, let's go ahead and do this work. So it was just refreshing and very powerful to me because it was just like I could feel the healing in the room almost. It was like I can feel not even for just myself, but like culturally, I can see everybody and just the crying out and the freedom to be in that space without worrying who was looking or who was watching, you know, or being scared or anything like that. I think it was a lot of freedom and it was power and Abba's presence was with us in that session. So that's how it was for me. It was beautiful.
Okay. All right.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna repeat the question. And the question was, what does healing look like to you spiritually, emotionally, or culturally, or all three? And we're moving to Tamikia.
Amunah, she hit everything that I would have said. Like seriously, like sitting there or just listening to um even before Maury Oladeli got up there, just the experience and the environment it allowed me to be vulnerable, and it was like I don't know, it was something that I never felt before. I'm trying to keep from crying now, but it was just it was
It's okay.
just something I've never just opened myself up to experience, and it was like at that moment I didn't care who was around, and it was like she said, you can literally feel something in you or in the atmosphere that like shifted, and it was like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna praise. You can you can just feel it. I'm gonna lamb back on everything she said, and just to be vulnerable. It was like it was a beautiful experience. It was like something, like I said, something I've never experienced. And I went there initially to gain clarity on some things that I'm going through, and it was for that moment. It just allowed me to see things clearer,
Yeah.
and just to see how everybody else responded to the message. And yeah, it was a beautiful thing, and just to see that everybody was there for the same thing, and it was and it, you know, it's not, you can tell it was the ruach moving everybody, and it was just beautiful, man. That's all I can say. And I feel like going in, I was you know how we are, we hold back, and like you say, Michi, it's like, okay, we don't care who's watching, or it's not a pretty thing, or you know. And I felt that. I was like, you know what, I can't do it because I'm not being obedient if I'm holding back, and I'm not going to experience my true deliverance if I'm not allowing myself to be vulnerable enough for him to come in and take that thing that I prayed about, or you know. So yeah, I just told Abba for just waking me up, opening my eyes to the things that I need to work on, and just be honest about, and just let him, you know, his ruach do what he needs to do. No, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts, and just be free. For real. I was missed coming home. I just missed. I'm like, oh my gosh, Pesach is. Oh, I mean, you know, with the mishpachah. I'm like, I want to go back. I just missed everything. I just missed everything about it, man. It was so. Yeah, it was much needed. It was much needed. Yeah. So I will yield with that.
We will go
Go ahead.
to Zamaria. What does healing look like to you emotionally, spiritually, or culturally after being at Pesach?
Honestly, just honestly, no different than it was before I came. Because I've been on I think that life is healing. you know, and especially when you come into this truth and when you come into the realization of not just who you are, but whose you are. I believe this whole journey is a journey of healing. I will say that coming to that helped to enhance, and it was a moment of being able to reflect, which is I think a couple of the sisters have already said it. I think it's just about being able to reflect and to face your past, you know, to face those things that you may have been ashamed of, those decisions that you may have made that were shameful, that you knew was stupid, that you knew were crazy, and being able to face your childhood, not ignore that. You know, that's the emotional part, and then the spiritual part is just being able to face and being able to do the work, like the sister says, because I think in church, you know, I learned. Listen, when I was in church, I'm telling you, I was at the altar every Sunday, crying, sobbing, yelling, screaming, snot nose, ha ba 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 ba. Listen, so you know, I'm done. I got to a point, you know, where there's nothing wrong with being emotional because this walk is real. Like it will move you to tears. It will move. So there's nothing. We are an emotional people. There's nothing wrong with that. But I know, and Dr. Howard mentioned this. Like we can do all that and have those great moments and get emotional. But when you get back up off that floor, you got to do the work. Like that. That's because you cry and get emotional. Those temptations ain't going nowhere. You know, those urges ain't going nowhere. Those thoughts ain't going nowhere. So spiritually, if you're not building yourself up, if you're not in that word study in the scripts, if you're not meditating on that word, all that means nothing. So healing spiritually is continuing to do the work. And if that means the Most High is calling you to fast, then you need to fast. You know, whatever that is, if he's telling you to withhold yourself from something or don't go there, work on your diet, get your stuff together. Like spiritually, that's what that looks like. And then as a nation, I think it's just being able to one of the biggest things that when I read the word is like when we confess our sins, not saying that you got to confess everything to everybody, but just being able to be vulnerable around your family and you know, not be judged for it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I got to a point where I'm able to be vulnerable. I don't care what you think. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing what the word says. The word says confess your faults one to another. That's what we're supposed to do. And if you got a problem with that, that's on you, you know, but I'm going to be free. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let this thing, whatever's holding me, whatever I did, whatever mistake I made, like I'm going to confess it. So I think I saw that we had a men's moment where we had to all separate into groups and we were all being vulnerable with one another. And, it was beautiful. Now I ain't gonna lie, the group I was in, like you could tell men, we just ain't used to that. You could just tell, like it was like, you know, niggas was sitting there like, who gonna go first? Niggas was looking at like, you can tell we're not used to having that type of environment. But you know, so I decided to step up and say something, and you know, so on and so forth. Then everybody just opened up. And I think that's a part of healing as a nation, that us coming together. One thing that I realized while everybody was telling their story is like, bruh, we all kind of went through that in a similar way. You know what I'm saying? We all got, you know, we may experience it in different types of ways, but we all experience some sort of tussle or struggle. And so we all can relate in that area. There's no temptation that is not common to man. So and I think it's brothers and sisters being able to come together and be vulnerable about that, and us not judge one another for it. So I think that's what healing looks like as a collective nation.
Hallelujah.
That was beautiful. And I want to just point out one thing that he said was he decided to be the first one to say something to kind of break the ice. But that goes to show that our trials and our hard work of going through the healing process is really for the freedom of others. Because if he had not already been doing the work of being able to be vulnerable, then they all would have been sitting there looking at each other. But because he's gone through that process of being able to heal and being able to open up in front of amongst other men that he doesn't even know, he allowed that opportunity for the rest of the men that were in that group. So all praises to Abba Yahuwah for your process, you know, and for your obedience and your journey that allows you to be able to be a witness, one, to the other men, and then even opening that door to the rest of them.
Oh, glory to
All
Yah.
right, I'm gonna shift the question, Neely. I'm gonna shift the question. What did Yahuwah reveal to you while y'all were at Pesach? And that's going. So just everybody go on and listen to that question, because I'm actually going to ask everybody. What did Yahuwah reveal to you while you were celebrating, honoring, and keeping the command of Pesach and unleavened bread, if anything at all?
Go ahead, babe.
To me, he revealed himself.
Ooh, okay, we listening.
He revealed himself as in the strength that I've gained from being there. Oh God, it's just so hard to describe, because we went there expecting something, but we wasn't calling that something a name. That makes any sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Go to the church, we would go expecting something, but that something was like a void that needed filling in our lives that he filled. And the only way I can describe that is he empowered us in our worshiping him. He empowered us in our being transparent. He empowered us in his love, and showed us his true love for his people. Man, I tell you, it was phenomenal. Even I want to go back to healing. I know you changed the question up, but
You can go ahead.
But when I got there, I was limping, and I was limping bad when I got there because of my knee. And for me to be able to, I asked him to give me strength to get through this, because I didn't know.
You did that incline and you had just had surgery?
No, I had surgery after I got back, but I actually still was in pain.
Okay.
But for her, my pain was less after I got there, because I prayed, and he allowed me to function, to climb up and down those stairs. You know, I'm a go-getter, and I wanted to help the men do the work, but I couldn't do anything. I just done what he had to do, you know. And so he empowered me to even do what I done, because I hadn't been able to function like that at home. Even getting around like I did at Pesach. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Oh no, it does.
Well,
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you can go ahead. I might piggyback.
Okay. I one of the revelations that the Most High gave to me was that just because I used my gifts in the church, it didn't mean he took them when I got to the truth. And that I was no longer allowed to use them anymore.
That's good. That's good.
Because he gave them to me, and I was just using them under the wrong doctrine, because
very good.
You know, we didn't know any better. But he didn't take that away. As a matter of fact, now that I know who he is, and I am learning even more who he is, that he wants to use them even more now that I know who he is. And now I know who my praise is going to. I know who my worship is going to. I know who my prayers are going to. And I can look for results. It's not just emotion for me. You know, it's not just being caught up in the hype of it.
Yeah.
It's literally, I know who Abba is.
Right.
He has become real to me, just as real as my husband is sitting here next to me he has become that real to
He's smiling about that.
He has become that real to me. And that whatever I have to honor him with, it's okay for me to give it to him.
Yeah.
And he's gonna use it now, even more so, because it is unto him. And to go back to that just goes back to the question that you had asked about what we got.
A lot.
It was so much because I was, and my husband can attest to this, I have been just overwhelmed with grief.
Wow.
So bad. I lost both of my parents. I lost them 5 months apart.
Okay.
And me and my parents were, them was my buddies. I mean, we was tight. And losing them 5 months apart, being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow.
Lost my breast. Then all of that just took a hold on me emotionally.
Yeah.
To the point that I'm just like, Most High, I ain't even got a song. I can't pull up nothing. I can't pull up nothing out of my spirit. I don't have nothing to give. Don't look at me. You're gonna make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I ain't even got nothing, to really give you. But being there, it brought back, it was almost like a release. It was a release for me. So the tears are more of, whoo, Lord, Father, I'm free. This no longer has a hold of me, but now I can get a hold of it.
And that's why I was running around telling everybody, she's ready, she's ready, she's ready.
I remember that. He did when we were sitting in. I don't know if it was the play. It was for something. And he was like, she's ready. He kept saying, he was like, she's ready. She ready. That's exactly what he said. I'm like, okay, then. Well, we're gonna have to make sure we get you up there. I ain't pull you up there this time, but best to believe you come back, which I know you will. Come on up here, Tasha. I'm gonna do you like Dr. Howard did me. We're gonna have Tasha come on up to the front. That's exactly how he did me. Thank you guys so much. Toda so much for sharing that. And what a testimony. Tasha, because grief is a real thing.
It is.
It can have a strong hold on some people sometimes when you don't have Abba's Ruach to guide you, to pull from his foundation, his word, to reassure you of what he has said, even in the midst of grief. I can semi attest to that. I haven't lost any parents, but I did lose my grandparents 61 days apart.
Wow.
My mother lost her parents 2 months apart, and it has been a journey even for her. So I can understand a little bit about what you mean there. So all esteem to Abba for keeping you and for thinking enough of you to allow you to be able to be in an environment around people that will be able to lift you up, to be able to fill your heart with the desires that you have, to be able to engulf yourself in worship the way your heart really desires.
Yes.
So all the same to Abba for thinking of you in that manner.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, baby.
Let's mind y'all that we hadn't been in a praise and worship setting in 4 years.
Yes.
Wow, that's a long time.
I can't even imagine.
I wouldn't know what to do.
That's the environment that we're accustomed to. And so for us, that was groundbreaking.
I probably would have suffocated.
Right.
And I felt like I was, suffocating because I had not had that. But it's not so much is that I missed it in the church. It wasn't about the church.
Yeah.
It was just about that this is what the Most High gave me to use.
Yeah.
And I felt muzzled.
Yeah.
Came into the truth. And I'm just like, this can't be right. This can't be how it's supposed to be when you're coming into this truth that everything that, I was given,
He's my dog, sorry. He hears something. Tails, who is he fixing his butt? Or he hears something? Oh, he barking at Ro because she not giving him.
I'm not playing. He been tearing my socks up the whole
time. Did we miss somebody?
No, we were coming to Mikia. What has Yah revealed to you during this feast day season?
Sit down.
Oh, during this feast day season, he showed me how powerful he is just through the ruach, just through the atmosphere, just the whole campus, the whole campground. You can't help but to see how powerful the Most High is and how he is true to his word when it comes to his kids. Just experiencing the tornado.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was Psalms 91. Psalms 91. So even it just showed me at first, it kind of started out, chaotic or whatnot. But then when we got together, we all prayed or whatnot. Then we started singing. It was like there's no fear. There's truly no fear. And then after we left, I'm looking at news clips of how we were just miles away from floods.
Yeah,
like people were literally under the water. So it was just just to see his mighty hand work to protect us and to elevate us with the worship. And it was just to see his power and his glory and just knowing that this is where, like, this is home. Like, just bringing all of his kids together in one atmosphere. And it was just love, just to see that. And he gets all the glory. And yeah, it's just his power, his love, him being true to his word. Yeah, and I'll yield there.
Yeah.
Imuna, was there anything that Abba revealed to you during this Passover unleavened bread season?
He had already revealed some things. He had kind of confirmed it more so, like with the children's dance. It had always been in my heart to work with children, praise dancing specifically. And he kind of like put that in my heart, planted that in my heart again, maybe like a month before Pesach.
Okay.
So just the way that I choreographed the dance, and I was really nervous because I worked with pretty much Zoom because some of the children was not in Detroit. But to see how happy they were and to see, just them up there and how beautiful the dance was, just confirmed that, okay, this is something that, Abba has placed in my heart to do, and I gotta just do it at this point. And just like the coach just said, just how powerful and mighty he is. Like a whole tornado just went around us specifically. It's just mind blowing to me that tornadoes, like the earth, definitely he's the same Yah that he was back then where he parted the Red Seas. Like yeah, so yeah, it's just that's some things that he revealed to me. Excuse at little Allie.
You're not even crying, girl.
Right. She be so fake.
She's so fake.
I am so happy. I was so happy, y'all. Like, and it was funny because I said this to Vanita after maybe the next day, because I don't think it was the next day or something like that. And I told her, I said, bro, it's time for you to go ahead and do this. Like when I seen all the kids during the play, during the dance, I mean, Journey is what, 2? Selah is maybe 4. They were doing the dance. And to see her, even when they were running around like the little bees, when they, they was going around to get Pharaoh and stuff like that. It's like she has such a gift, and it was so beautiful to see her up there with the kids. And we had previously talked about this a few months ago. I think it was like January or something like that. she said that she wanted a dance studio. She didn't say specifically kids at the time, but she did say she wanted a dance studio. But when I seen the children and her up there during that wonderful stage play, boy, oh boy, like she just said, it was as if that was a confirmation.
Yeah.
Literally seeing her and seeing the manifestation of her hard work. And we're talking about children under the age of 5 who was able to get this dance and do it correctly. So all esteem to Abba for planting that in your heart, for you being obedient and following through with it, and for that obedience being able to, other people like myself are able to see what he has implanted in you before you're even able to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks right, it fits you, and it was just a beautiful thing. So yeah, next time we talk to Emuna, we gonna be in a studio somewhere recording her teaching all the little babies, and they're gonna be performing at all the Pesach or all the feast day festivities that we have, because it's so many things that go into teaching, you know, children. One, there's a patience, but there's also just cognitively and spiritually being able to have children in that type of space and being able to use their gifts back to the Most High. And all Vanita kids dance, like all of them dance, okay? And it is the most beautiful thing. When we're here in Detroit, them little babies be having them flags and they just be dancing, and it is the most beautiful, and it's effortless for her. It's effortless. So I'm gonna stop right there. All esteem to Abba for your gift, for what he has planted in you. And I pray you just continue to walk, listen, hear his voice, so that he can give you the instructions. If he's giving you the seed, then he has a plan and the resources that are going to come your way in order for that thing to be able to come into fruition, so that you will then be able to be a blessing unto other people's children. So hallelujah for that. Hey. That's going to be dope. I'm excited. On a Honda. What did you just say? Coming on a Honda. Okay. All right. So it's already 8:45. So we're going to go ahead and start trying to wrap this up. I want to talk about the vendors, if that's cool. Yeah. Did anybody get a chance to support any of the vendors that was at Pesach? We had at least 10 vendors that were out there, if not more. So I'm gonna let y'all start first, and y'all talk about y'all stuff while she going to get her stuff already. We supposed to wait, bro. Listen. Look. What? My name on his chest. Oh, you got your name on it? I don't know. I gotta get his name on my chest. Got it. All right. So let's start. Who said? Did anybody purchase anything from the vendors? Okay, y'all did. So go ahead. Go ahead and talk about what y'all purchased. We'll start with the Neelys.
Well, my daughter, she went on a binge. First of all, she's got about 10 bracelets. Okay. What else did she get? She got some body shea butter. Mm-hmm. Of course, we was even binging with, because we never knew Hebrew Israelite. Nobody. We were wearing Hebrew Israelite attire before now, and we went on Amazon and got our things before we got there. And of course, I needed some accessories, and so
you never have too many accessories.
Every time I would leave the room, I would check to see where they're out there. And I got me some bead necklaces, and matter of fact, I got 2 necklaces. 2 necklaces, and we got us some shirts and head wraps, and I bought some every chance I got. Yeah, because when you was talking about the culture, and I'm gonna try to be quick. When you was talking about the culture, getting there and learning to say some of those words like Toka Boka. No, seriously though. But just I got this paper here, and I was learning those words, and I'm like, baby, we're the only ones here that can't speak Hebrew. I know what. I told her she was gonna have to come on up now, because we got to get on this thing. But we can't say nothing but howdy doody. I know. Howdy doody. So,
y'all are funny. Y'all are funny.
They are. Y'all hilarious.
I got this. We've been looking at our words, and I got to walking around there, shalom. And, go text me today with all these words. I'm like looking at this paper. It was fun. But I said all that to say just embracing that helped me to embrace the culture. And embracing the culture helped me to want to even embrace the Torah even more.
Yeah, true. Very
I
true.
mean, it all works together. You know, you embrace the culture, you identify with yourself, you know who you are now, and you know this was my culture. And so this is what I want. I want to operate in my culture, you know. Okay, I'll calm down. So, but yeah, it's just, man, I just wanted to, you know, operate in my culture. And I know, you know, people on the outside looking in, and are not used to us embracing our culture like that, or think, man, what are they doing? You know, they don't dress like that. You know, they don't wear that kind of stuff. You know, but I embrace it now. I wear my stuff to Walmart now.
That's right. That's right. Did anybody else buy anything?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Samar.
So yeah, I just love how the Rawat Hakadesh moves, because you know y'all skipped me on that last question, but the Most High, the Most High spoke to this brother. He spoke to this brother, and I'm able to tie in what y'all were talking about with the vendors to what I was gonna say about the.
Hallelujah! What he revealed to you? What he revealed to you?
Let me say this is so. I'll just start with a brief testimony. So I missed my flight coming back home, and I'm coming in this walk. Nothing is a coincidence to me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it was for a reason. So my mind is just open. I'm like, okay, y'all, what you got for me? So I ended up being able to book a flight, you know, with a whole nother airline. You know, cost me a little bit more, but I knew I had to get back home because I didn't have nothing. Like my bag was already on the previous flight that I had missed. So, and the flight that I missed, they happened to change gates at the last minute. The gate was right beside where I was sitting. I wasn't on the phone. I wasn't doing anything. I just didn't know that they switched the flight. So in my mind, instead of getting mad, I'm like, okay, I think the Most High want to close this feast out with a bang. Like what you
right.
So I get on the plane coming down here yesterday, and I catch this crazy anxiety. Like I've never had anxiety, so I don't really know what's going on. I just know my heart is racing very fast. I almost feel like I'm about to pass out. So I'm like, what's going on? So, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is a premonition. Is something about to happen to this plane. Now, just being real, I don't know if that's because, you know, we've been hearing in the news about all these planes crashing and all that other stuff. So I was like, is something about to happen? What's about to go down? And then I started thinking, am I getting sick? What's going on? Mm-hmm. By the time I get in the air, and I have a video of this proof. When I get in the air, the clouds are very patchy. So it's clouds here, clouds there. So, and you know, a plane is going at a certain speed. And so we're just passing through the clouds, and I just happen to look outside, and I see the reflection of the plane in the shadows of the cloud. And circling the plane was a rainbow. It was a circle of a rainbow around the plane. And so, you know, when you think about that rainbow, he told Noah, I put the bow in the clouds. It's going to remind you of the covenant. It's going to remind you of the promise that I made with you. And I promise I'm not going to flood the earth no more. But to that at that moment, it was a sign to me that I'm with you. Ain't nothing happening to you. So I'm like, okay. I pulled the phone out just because I'm like, y'all got to see this. So I got it. Witnesses. I got it. So I'm videoing the thing. And then when I get done videoing the cloud, immediately my chair starts shaking. It starts shaking. And so I feel like I'm about to come out of my spirit and get in my flesh, because I'm like, is this nigga behind me kicking my chair? I'm like, what's going on?
Real quick, he switched up real quick.
Listen, I was about to come out. I'm like, bro, I know he ain't. Maybe you with me to, you know, put judgment on kicking my chair, because I'm about to go crazy. So I turn around, and this brother right behind me, he starts having seizures. And so, and I'm not trying to, this ain't about, you know, white, black, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them Hebrews, but he was a guy, he was he was a white skinned brother. No, like I said, don't have nothing to do with that. But he was a white young brother. I think I thought it was a kid at first, but by the end of the flight, like I'm telling the whole flight, he was having convulsions. Like they had to put him on his side in the aisle, and he was just. I was like, "Yo, y'all, what is that?" And so, what I gathered from that moment was the Most High was telling me, just like He told me when I had my moment when y'all had asked me to lead worship. That the night before, I was very heavy, and I was like, I don't even. And a lot of it was because I was feeling unworthy. Like I don't like. You asked me to get up and perform, even though it is a form of worship. It's just a little bit different to me than you asking me to come up and lead the people in worship. So definitely, I had to go before the Father. I was up 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, seeking the Father. And His Spirit was speaking to me. And He said, what I got from this whole event, He said, number one, you got a lot of work to do, but that's okay. I'm going to be with you because it's time to carry the mantle. It's time to walk in the super. Like He's getting His people ready to walk in the supernatural again. He's getting ready. As Christ has said, these works and greater. He was looking at the people like, yo, y'all amazed at this? What y'all gonna do is much greater than what you're seeing. And I believe He's getting the people ready for that. And how that ties into the vendor, I'm gonna close it on now. So this whole weekend was supernatural. You know, I came down here and I had bought some shirts, but I was telling Sister Rose, see, and I got a witness. So y'all know I ain't
right. Oh, I know where you going.
So I before I came, you know, I was trying to save space in my bag. So I went to Marshall's and bought a box of tees, white tees, because you know white usually go with everything, and it was like 5 or 6 in there, and they were extra large. I said, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Throw them things on, you know, throw on a coat on top of it, put on my fitted cap, and I'm good. So I get down here to Kentucky. These joints ain't no extra large. These joints they extra small. I'm telling you, the shirts was coming up here to the top of my stomach. So I said, "Oh yeah," I ain't got. Listen, I was like, "Yeah, I ain't got nothing to wear." I was like, "What is we gonna do? What is we gonna do?" And so it was a Shabbat day, so you know, I went up to I was like, "Man, I know, you know what I'm saying? It's Shabbat, you can't sell." You know, but y'all remember what Christ said, you know, the metaphor he used, you know, if your animal was about to fall off in a hole now, what you gonna do? You just gonna let him sit there on the Shabbat, or you gonna go save it now? I'm that donkey about to fall in the hole. So y'all, I need some help, bro. So I went up there and the brother came out. Bro was like, yeah, this is the guy right here you need to see. And so I said, brother, look, I said, you got to help me, man. I got to get up and worship. Dr. Howard is not gonna call me back up here if I come up here with a t-shirt. I ain't coming back. He ain't gonna invite me back, man. So please, brother. He said, you know what? This is what we gonna do, brother. He said, I'm gonna give you the shirt. I'm gonna give you whatever you need. And when the sun go down, just cash at me. And so from that moment to the moment I had on the plane and some other things that I've experienced that I'm not gonna get into, the Most High is showing me that He is everything we need. No matter where we go, and whatever we feel that we're lacking, He is the one that He's our provider. He's the one that's our sufficiency and efficiency, the Most High. You know, and so no matter what's that storm that happened, whatever's going on in the world, I ain't got to flee to Africa. I ain't got to flee over here because He said 10,000 should fall at your side, but it won't come near you. So it can be right here. I see what y'all got going on, but I'm in Goshen. I'm in the presence of the Most High. And because I keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, I'm covered. And so the Most High told me, even though you individually, you got a lot of work I need you to do, bro. Like you got to tighten up, but I'm with you because it's time to carry the mantle that I put on you. And it's time to walk in whatever the supernatural is. I don't think that's all necessarily got to do with, you know, the miraculous things. But He just said it's time to walk in that. So, you know, and I wouldn't have been able to walk in that, you know, without them vendors this week. See how I close that out right there?
Hallelujah. And that was the whole, you tied that whole thing in. I like the way you did that.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
We thank y'all for your apparel. Because, honey, if you had came up in there with a onesie on, it would have been
Come on,
Ooh.
come on now. Listen.
I still can't get it out of my mind. I still can't get it out of my mind. He had on a crop top. You had on some
I'm telling you now, I was about to be up there looking crazy now. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
Told out for sharing.
That's too funny.
We will let you go ahead and talk about your experience as well with any vendors.
Actually, I didn't get to actually purchase yet because is it Ema Mary? She was selling the dresses. Okay, she didn't have my size, so I'm looking forward to that. Say it again.
I think it's Emma Wendy that may have been selling the dresses.
Wendy. Yeah, it was Emma Wendy. She didn't have my size, so I kind of pre-ordered it. So, but that was the only one that I got something from. But everything else was beautiful. I am looking forward to getting one of those jackets, though, Ro.
Yeah,
it's cold in the D right now, so I can wear my jacket.
It is cold over here. Paul has his own too. Benita, did you?
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be blinged out.
Exactly, that it will. Did you purchase anything?
Yeah, my daughter got somebody gifted her like 3 bracelets, so she came home with some bracelets, and then I purchased a beautiful skirt from Emma Wendy. I cannot wait to put that on. And I got one of the t-shirts from is it Ibri Apparel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got a t-shirt from him, so I can't wait to put that on. She in her own little
Awesome. So we want to shout out. We probably should have got the name of everybody's company. That's our bad. We got y'all next time. But Ibri Apparel, as you can see, has Letterman jackets and t-shirts and hats. I remember seeing. And I feel like it was something else over there.
Hoodies.
And the hoodies were over there.
They got the Alkibula hoodies.
I purchased, what's the name of this company again? Is it called Treasures of Hell?
I don't know.
Feel like that's the name of it. This is Kaelia's line. Akoti Kaelia. I bought this body oil from her. And I also bought this facial serum that has been doing wonders for my skin. She is an actual certified herbalist, if I'm not mistaken. She has gone to school for it, so she knows about herbalism. This has rose petals, calendula flowers, and some other things in here. So she has tea. And I bought some raspberry leaf salt. Yeah, she got a bath salt. Oh my goodness, that bath salt, y'all.
Baby, I took a bath the other day.
That stuff smells good.
Looking like a whole crackhead in tub when the water went out.
Shut up. When the water went out. You childish. I bought this is a body oil. I bought a facial serum that was super light and it smells amazing and it looks really, it makes my skin just feel amazing. She has hair, I don't think it was hair oil, but I know she had tinctures. I bought some raspberry leaf, raspberry leaf tincture, and I put it in my tea. She has all kind of stuff, anything herbal. You can actually be educated by her because she has been certified and she knows her stuff. So yeah, Kaelia, we will just follow our page or something. We'll drop everybody's stuff in there because I can't think of the name of her company. I don't think it's called Treasures of Health, but
I don't remember what the name was either.
And then what you said the name of this company was again?
Set Apart Selections.
Set Apart Selections got all my money. All my money. Okay. I wasn't trying to buy nothing, but I'm always going to support a vendor. But let me tell you how I couldn't even make a decision and still end up buying 4 pair of earrings, 3 bracelets. Like, oh my God, today. Y'all, aren't these amazing? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? I bought them. I bought these. Can y'all see those? Right? I bought these. I can't wait to wear these out of town somewhere, okay? And I was about to bring your head over here. I was about to buy these. But she bought them, so we just gonna share them because that's what cousins tend to do, right?
So beautiful.
We're gonna share them.
And
I was gonna get those. What else did I get?
I got the 10 Commandment picture thingy.
Yeah. In her stuff, the way she puts it has the Most High's name on there. So her setup is very, very, very beautiful.
Wait, it's in here somewhere.
You got a necklace from her too?
Yes, I did. There you go.
Too?
Yes,
and we wear our folks stuff. Okay? Start your business so you can get support.
So I can support it.
The bruises don't support. That's one thing for sure. The bruise is gonna support. My husband brought me, I don't have it with me, but I got like 2 bracelets from him. Aria bought me a bracelet.
Yeah, I got one from her.
They were custom made by their daughter. This is a family business.
Yeah.
They had beautiful jewelry. They had watches for men. And you could change the face on the watches? I know, like the women's bracelets, some of them have a scripture on it, and it'll say like, I am strong, I am beautiful, and you could change them out. So like one bracelet I got, I wanted what the pendant said, but I wanted the other color. So they have a bunch of different things. Like I said, these are all handmade by the family. The young lady, the daughter, actually makes the bracelets. They have little bracelets for little girls, so beautiful. I also purchased from I'm a Jackie. Can't think of the name of the company. So sorry, but I'm a Jackie is out of Detroit. And let me go get it. Hold on.
Yeah, she got sea moss. I want to tell her Toda because she saw I was parched. And she gave me some sea moss lemonade to help me. And I'm so grateful.
That strawberry lemonade sea moss.
That's the one I had. It was so good.
But I bought 2, okay? And then I bought some strawberry lemonade sea moss. And as you can see, it's about to be gone, right? So she makes sea moss. So if you're ever needing some sea moss, I don't know if she ships, but just come to shop. Whoa, we need to make sure we have a vendor table for that weekend.
We do.
Sorry, my brain just had a whole moment there. But yeah, so I bought sea moss from her. We also had someone out there for, look at that. Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
Just all of our stuff representing Abba everywhere.
Because baby, I'm gonna represent everywhere I go. Okay, ain't that dope? It's a whole person.
That's from Abba Deborah, right?
Yeah. Yes,
that's from Abba. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and it's deep. Look at that. It's orange on the inside. My favorite color, y'all.
Clean on the inside, clean on the outside. It's like, no. There were plenty of plenty.
Back up, because she had the venison, beef jerky,
man,
and that is beef jerky and venison jerky,
deer, right?
And I had the extra spicy one, and I just want to tell her when I was starving, she fed me, so she came and saw about the pork. She actually kept the command during the feast day. So you shall be blessed, Amma. Thank you.
I don't eat red meat, and the only time get out the window, I eat my lamb on Pesach, but I was starving too. And I took a piece of that beef jerky.
And it was good.
Oh, baby. My y'all today.
She was making sandwiches out the bread she
had.
I
was, because she also made unleavened bread.
Mm-hmm.
And she, what is it? What you call that? Seal it? What's that word?
Vacuum?
She vacuum seals it, the beef jerky. And she said they process their own at the deer.
Mm-hmm.
They do the whole shebang. Like the whole shebang, top to bottom. So that beef jerky was bomb.com. It was spicy and it just made it even better. And I just took that cup of garlic and I took that doggone bread, that unleavened bread. All I needed was a piece of cheese and I could have had cheese crackers and sausage. You know,
it was fine. It was good.
It was fine. Good. It was fine for sure. That it was. So we had a lot of vendors, and it's always I always love to see us shopping with our people.
What was her daughter name? I can't remember her name.
Can't think of it right now.
But she was selling bracelets too. I got about a couple of bracelets from her too. She was out there. Her and Kamari was out there slanging them bracelets. 35, 45, 50. No.
And you know what? That's you know, you and I were talking about that. Like one of the most beautiful things is it's a representation for the children.
Yeah.
We even had you know, we even talked about that with Vanessa, one of Vanita's daughters, as well as Jakina's daughter. Like they seen everybody else selling stuff. It was like, I want to start a business. Come on in, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's representation for our babies and for our children to see that, hey, this is something that you can do and you will have support, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always love to see our people. We're both entrepreneurs as well, so we just know what it's like to have a business and you need that support. So whether we need it or not, we just gonna buy because we know what it takes to sustain a business, and that's what's most important.
Circling that dollar within our community.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Yah'Chokmah definitely has a whole lot of work to do with the shifting of mindset when it comes to money, because you know we know that it's not all about money, but money is everything, because you can't do nothing without money.
Right.
If you want to build a nation, you need money. You know, if you want to buy some land, you need money. Even if somebody gifted to you, you're gonna need something to build on the land, and it's gonna cost you some money, right? You know, that is just having that, and it's gonna come. It's gonna come. I was gonna continue to do that work, and allow us that opportunity to have that mind shift change, to be able to understand money and do better, be better stewards of our finances so that we can build his kingdom for show, and truly show the world what a nation look like. Because everybody looks at the world as the world and not a nation.
Yeah.
You know, not as like different nations, you know. So I'll yield with that. I want to get on that soapbox.
With us getting ready to close it out, I want to ask one more question. And my question is, what is the most memorable thing? What, out of all the things that took place, what is the one thing that is sticking with you through those couple of days from Pesach? Starting with Imuna.
The pure worship that went forth is definitely something that's sticking with me. Like just the authenticity of it. And just I want to bring that in my home a little bit more, like with my children. Just watching them get up and worship, and without me saying, "Oh, stand up, clap your hands," or anything, they just really wanted to engage in that worship. So now I really want to work on focusing, bringing that in the home too. So yeah, that's something that stuck out for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a little bit to that. She already doing some type of work in her house, because when we were doing worship, it was doing the deliverance service, I think, because I know it was at nighttime. I looked over to my left, and Vanita's oldest daughter was literally laying on her face, praying. And then she sat up and started praise dancing. And I literally almost started crying. Like, this baby is on, like, she was laying prostrate on her face.
She came and told me, she said, I'm going to worship tonight.
I was like, girl, I don't think she's more than 10. Wow. I don't think she's over 10, but I literally looked over and she was in the aisle. Mm-hmm. She was literally in the aisle and laying on her face, and she had her hands out. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, I looked back over. She over there dancing. She was just giving y'all all she had. Giving y'all all she had. So I'll yield with that. Who are we going to next?
Tamikia, what's sticking with you, girl?
I would definitely say all forms of worship was it. It was the highlight of my visit or my time there. It was the worship. I didn't want it to stop. Like Amuna said, bringing it home is just that nonstop praising the Most High, the nonstop glorifying Him through your good, through your bad, through everything, just to know that He is who He is. Even in hard times, praise Him anyway, because some things could be a test, some things are, testing our faith. So just keep worship going. You can't go wrong with worship. You can't go wrong with worship. You can go wrong without it, but you can't go wrong with it. Absolutely. So it's definitely the praise and worship services. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
That's top tier. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to Zamaria. What is sticking with you?
I mean, that's a lot. But I'll just if I could pick, if I could pick one, I would say just that moment. I don't know, was it I don't think it was the Mishpachah night that we had. I think it was the following night when we had was it the night of celebration?
Yes.
I think just witnessing what the Most High can do when you're obedient as a vessel, and how it not only your obedience or it will affect your life, but others around you as well. And we see that continuously throughout the scriptures. So it's just being able to, me yielding to the Most High, because he had been dealing with me all day about what sound he wanted to come forth from out of this vessel. And I was like, well, that's not really on my itinerary. But that's not what I planned and practiced for. But of course, growing up in the church and growing up in a atmosphere of spontaneous worship, which is why I respect what y'all do at GAI in Detroit with the worship team there. Y'all just let the Most High have his way. And I've seen time and time again, not only by me seeing it with my eyes, but also seeing it online, that the Most High just moves without. You set up an atmosphere for freedom for everybody else.
Yes.
And so just that experience, because I didn't even experience that when I was in the church.
Right.
So just to experience just being obedient to the Most High and seeing the effect that it had on the atmosphere and the people, it was just it was a humbling moment for me, and it makes me want to just go lower in the Most High. Not go lower as in like lower myself,
Right.
so that he can come up and be exalted and the people can be edified. So that's just one moment that's still sticking with me, and it's something that I'm using to move forward in this thing that we call being a worship or a vessel. I just say just being a vessel. That's something that I'm using moving forward.
Hallelujah. That's something that Ro and I actually mentioned that Sunday. I think it was that Sunday, that evening. We were just kind of noticing for Zamaria to be an artist. He didn't, for worship, he didn't, number one, the fact that he was nervous, the fact that he took it serious enough to go before the Most High. He met him early. He rose early to meet with the Most High to make sure that he was clean before he went forward and before he went before our people. And the fact that he didn't do any of his music. He got plenty of music he could have did, y'all.
Right. That was the thing that blew me.
I was like, he ain't divert to none of his songs. Like that would have been so clutch to like, even in nervousness, that could have been so clutch, but he didn't. And I was like, hey, yo, he kind of humble, G. That was very, I thought that was just very honorable. That's like awesome. He's a real artist, real artist.
Rihanna.
Absolutely. They both just, man, because night of celebration, y'all
shifted that boy so swiftly.
Yeah.
Shifted that boy so swiftly.
Y'all shifted
real slick too at that.
Right. Absolutely. And that took to that point. We had two artists on the stage that led Shabbat worship, and they didn't veer off into their own theme.
Yeah, man, and I've been listening to worship for the last 2 days.
All praises.
Stop there. Yeah.
All praises. I need them streams.
Definitely one of my faves. Definitely one of my faves. I'm sorry.
No.
You're good. You're good.
No apologies.
And we want to end on the Neelys.
What's sticking with y'all?
The deliverance session was really, really good because it was different, especially if you went to the morning session before the service,
the wedgie session.
Yes, to just really see, that you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
To maintain your deliverance.
Facts.
No, it does not end after that service is over.
No,
it's just and if you haven't already made up your mind, then I don't care who's standing before you, they can't deliver you.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Right. So that was really that was key for me outside of the worship. The worship was a given for me, but the deliverance session was phenomenal.
Tasha asks, can you send me some of the songs that y'all sang? I was like, I wish you could, but ain't that damn one of them songs real.
It was real from the heart of
they were moment. All created in the moment.
I could have thumped y'all in the forehead for that.
we rewatched them though, so we saw that it was what it was. It was.
What's sticking with you, Barry?
How can you compartmentalize all?
Come on,
all of that.
But I will say this, and I mean all of that. But what was big for me is the whole culture of the atmosphere of us doing that Exodus dance from the dining hall over to the sanctuary, going into worship. Somehow I always wanted to feel what our people felt like when they came out of Egypt.
Hallelujah.
And to do that put me in touch somewhat with the culture of all of that, and with the I need one of Dr. Howard's words right now. But it really put me in touch with my people.
Yeah.
You know, and that was big for me to be a part of that, because I like to beat a hole in my tambourine, you know, there. And so, man, that was powerful for me. And then what was waiting on us when we got there was even more powerful. You know, it was such a freedom to experience that part of it. You know, we're coming out, we're free now. So at home, you know, he's brought us out. That whole thing, you know, all I see in my Bible over and over again: remember when I brought you out of the land of Egypt. And to get to demonstrate that was awesome.
Yeah, hallelujah. I'm gonna share my highlight.
Y'all share mine too.
Yeah.
We had 1,000 highlights, but I'm gonna tell y'all what my highlight was. Me being able to bam on them drums.
Oh my goodness.
I've been wanting to bam on some drums my whole life.
My goodness.
She playing the drums
to her, and she was like, "I want to play the drums." I looked this way and I looked back. She was going up there and she was like,
I was in my element, okay? I was so happy. My thighs paid for it the next day, because who told me to go up there in heels? I don't know, but I did it for an hour and it was amazing. So, on the Lion King or something. Just out there.
You do that again. I trying to learn how to do that. Do that thing.
Listen, I'll make a call in a minute. I will make a call in a minute. But that truly was a highlight for me. Like, I have always wanted to perform on them things. Now I just got to get on the bongos or the djembe. Yeah, I'm gonna
one thing that's sitting with me would probably be the foot gathering. I slid up in there like 20 minutes before it was over because I had to work every day. And I like right before the feast day, we were already planning to go to the UK. So I was really looking forward to seeing Yah'Chokmah in the UK. And so long story short, I slid in, I seen Mia. Mia was still up in the rafters, but I had to kind of ask her, like, how we do this? What we do? Do I sit down? What do I do? And Yah'Chokmah sat down with another lady. And again, I don't know that this is Yah'Chokmah because she's not on social media and she doesn't have her face as her avatar for WhatsApp. So I have an issue with letting people serve me. I have no problems with serving everybody. So Abba was dealing with me about you gonna sit down and let somebody wash your feet too. So anyway, I sat down first to take care of the lady that I did not know was Yah'Chokmah. So when I put her feet in the water and I got ready to massage her feet and her ankles, I heard the sweetest voice, because if y'all ever heard Yah'Chokmah talk, make you melt. And I heard her say, Berakah, Ngozi. I said,
that's literally what she did too.
I did. I screamed right in her face. And all the more, it was just like the best thing for me to have met her by serving her. And I just thought that was the most amazing thing that Abba could have done. And then she turned around and she washed my feet, and Abba began to speak as she was washing my feet. And that's where I heard him say that you are the Shem of your generations, the restorer of generations. And most of us are the Shem. We're the ones that will teach our families the most sacred things of the Most High. We are the ones who will bridge the gap, repair the breach of the covenant. And unfortunately, we're going to be trying to do things our way, but we can't, because it's got to be Yah's way. Because as Zamar said, the matron, the mantle, the calling, it was almost as if everything that Abba was saying to me that day while she was washing my feet, Ola Deli came back and closed in healing and deliverance, and said literally verbatim, maybe 1 or 2 words off from what Abba had said. So it's sticking with me. It is sticking with me. And then come back to Yarib again. Zamar was worshiping, and Yarib leaned forward and she said, "Move with the Malakim." And it was as if y'all got to know her voice is soft, but it was as if like a tsunami was happening underwater, like it, right?
Wow.
Like it was resonating because I heard it 3 times, even though she wasn't speaking no more.
Wow.
And yeah, it was some stuff. Abba was talking. Oh, Abba was talking. It was still and it was small. Even in all the moving, the tornado warnings and what Abba was like. Abba had stuff to say to us if we were not paying attention. Oh, he was talking. And I yield on that one because I got a whole bunch of stuff in my notebook.
It was definitely an experience, and I would, even going back to the healing portion, I would definitely clarify some stuff for me regarding myself, stuff that I have been asking him. He really showed me some things about myself, and he even showed me why I have certain ways about myself when it comes to trusting people and my reservations and things like that. He really showed me a lot of stuff, and I'm appreciative for him thinking of me enough to want to show me so that I can go ahead and take the next steps and actions to, to heal. So Toda Rabbi for that. I do want to say Toda Rabbi to a couple of people. Y'all know the Feast Day Committee, man, we be working. The kitchen staff was on point. T and her team. Yamaria, More Will, Yolanda was in the kitchen. For everybody that helped in the kitchen, we want to say Toda Rabbi to all the kitchen staff. Andrew, who was on the cleaning staff, that man made sure you picked up behind yourself and threw your stuff in the garbage. Okay. Who else do we have? We have this Jerome on the security team. We have Moray Daweed on the sound and tech
let me tell you
team.
something. I got on Moray Daweed's nerves. As many times as I was emailing and texting him stuff to add for the play, I got on that man's nerves. But Toda Rabbi, because that thing slapped, and we appreciate his hard work and his efforts. Not just for the play, but the whole week.
That's right. Speaking of the play, Toda Rabbi to Anita,
woo, woo,
who was the writer and manager behind the entire Covenant Rights play, which was absolutely hilarious.
Phenomenal.
But Anita's hilarious. Like, if you know Anita is hilarious. It had no choice but to be hilarious. Who else do we need to thank? We want to definitely thank all of our vendors for sharing their products with us. All the dancers, they worked hard.
Y'all, listen, I gave Jamaica, the dancers, a little small vision for the Exodus dance. And they took it and ran with that.
I mean, ran like Forrest Gump.
I mean, run, Forrest, run. Okay. And they ran with it. And nothing that I could have imagined.
I definitely didn't imagine that.
Out. And this baby sang her tail off, y'all.
Yeah.
I ain't listen to sing like that.
Hey, I had a conversation with Zamaria one day. He was like, I didn't know you could actually really sing. And I literally almost fell out my chair.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when you with groups, you can hide,
yes.
a note.
Yes.
You might share a note, but then when you bring that note out by itself, it ain't the same. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, like you got, not only can you sing though, it ain't even about being able to have the talent and ability to sing. It's a spirit that comes with the sound, and it penetrates other people's, you know what I'm saying? People I identify with that. I'm like, yo, she spending time with the Most High. Like she love Yah. Like that's, so man, it's
I love Yah.
You don't love Yah? What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? But absolutely, it was that's a whole nother testimony in its own doggone. So we ain't even get into that. Who else we need to thank?
Everybody. Everybody get a toe out.
Everybody get a toe out. We appreciate you all for taking the time to spend this time with us and to share your testimony and experience of GAI's 2025 Pesach and Unleavened Bread celebration. We thank you. We say Toda Rabbah to you all for taking this time away from your household, your responsibilities, your family, whatever it may be, to spend this time with us so that the world may know what the experience was for you, what your takeaways were during Pesach. And we appreciate the honesty. We appreciate the vulnerability. We appreciate you guys. We look forward to seeing you again for Shavuot. I hope all y'all gonna really be there, because if not, I'm coming to knock on your door.
Right.
I'm coming to knock on your door.
I'm already planning it. But I just have a question. When are we gonna have our first GAI comedy show? Because y'all are funny. I've met at least 2 people. That's a good lineup right there.
Hey, you know what? We should have a comedy show, and this one definitely needs to be in it because she's wild. Okay, she is a wild card. You do not know what you're going to get with Ro. Okay.
Well, I prepared them.
That may be something that we need to now look into. We need to find who's like some real comedians.
See, I'm not a real comedian though. I'm only funny off guard. You put me on guard now. I'm deaf mute.
Well, that'll be something. Y'all know we gonna come across some people like y'all gonna bring them, because at the end of the day, we know that laughter is medicine, and our people are funny. Our people, there are comedians out there that are actually funny. There's some, they're pretty much in the world, quote unquote, but there are people in the awakening, and we'll get that. So you said it, it's gonna come soon. The most I can do is host for you. I'm not a comedian. I just say real crazy stuff sometimes, or I just do really crazy dances. Because I'm gonna do the I'm there.
Don't do that out there. Let me tell y'all something.
I embarrassed my family with that. I will do it in the middle of the grocery store. Okay,
don't do that, honey.
I don't even know why. So Toda Rabbah again for y'all. We're gonna play this song to close us out. This is actually the song that Zamaria did and shipped the whole night of celebration, and it allowed for people to be able to be free and do just that, worship the Most High without judgment or fear of what anybody else may have thought about them in that moment. It like literally created like a whole, I don't even know what the word is, but he created something, you know what I'm saying? His obedience and allowing the Most High to use him and the work that he's done to even write the song. So Toda Rabbah to you, and hallelujah for the song. We greatly appreciate it.
And you can actually go to all media outlets and download and stream all of Zamaria's music.
The name of the song is called What I Do. And I believe this Yarden is on this song with him. So y'all can check out her music as well. So we love y'all. Ahabatah. This is Yah'Chokmah and
Berakah.
We love y'all. Bye, guys. Can y'all hear that?
Uh-huh.
It's what I do, yeah. I fall on my knees, my heart to the east. I'm singing my song, yeah. It's just not what I sing, but this how I live. I keep the commandments. It's not in my strength, I do it through Yah. I'm trying to live blameless. I'm trying to live blameless. Another chance. I'm so grateful. That's why I give your name the praise. I do worship you. You gave me that righteousness. You gave me that peace. You gave me that joy. And I owe my all to you. Yeah, I give my all to you. A living sacrifice. Yeah, how much I paid the price. But yeah, how you gave me life. So I lift my hands and worship is what I do. It's what I do. It's what I do. Worship you in spirit and in truth. Worship is what I do. It's what I do. I do. Worship you. It's what I do. Worship is what I do. It's what I do. Worship you in spirit and in truth. Worship is what I do. It's what I do. It's what I do. Worship
All right, y'all. It's been a great night. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. We hope the information that was shared, the testimonies, the experiences, will encourage you to join us, Great Awakening Great Awakening International, for our next feast day. So, as Berakah always teaches y'all online for the last 15,000 years, and if you don't know by now, you have a problem. 15,000 years. She has been teaching this for forever, and you need to know this by now. So, Pesach is now done. Unleavened bread. First fruits is this coming Sunday, first day of the week. If you look at your calendar, it goes from Sunday to Saturday, not Monday to Sunday. That's a whole different conversation. But anyway,
and you're gonna
Sunday, you're going to count up 7 weeks, 7 Sundays, 7 Shabbats, right? 51 days? 50 days, 49 days in plus the 1. There you go. 50 days. I was listening, okay? You're going to count up 50 days. And then it's going to be Shabuot. Either with the V or B, however you want to say it. So Great Awakening International will be hosting Shabuot this year in Detroit. The 313, baby. So it will be from May 29th through June 1st, right? We'll be staying at Wayne State University. Go to Great Awakening, thegreatawakening.org. What's the website? GreatHebrewAwakening.org. GreatHebrewAwakening.org. Get all the information that you need. Registration is open. Please register. Bring your family, bring your friends. If you in the 313, come and join us. If you don't want to lodge because you're in Detroit, you have a commuter fee option. There will be a Teshuvah night or night of repentance session that will go on that Friday. Thursday, I believe, is when everybody will be coming in. Saturday will be an actual Shabbat gathering. Sunday will be the Shavuot service, then a wedding reception on the Detroit Princess. So it's gonna be a nice full weekend. Maybe we'll go on a comedy show in that weekend.
Right.
And well, technically,
yeah, let's have something like that, and just be reminded that the Detroit Princess Cruise is a separate cost.
It is,
right. That is $90. So be reminded of that if you're planning to join the cruise. It is a $90 cruise, right? But trust me, baby, you're gonna enjoy every stitch of those $90. Food is going to be amazing. Again, it is a wedding reception, and I do want to tell you now. Typically, we do a all-white party that night. It will not be a white party this year because it's someone's wedding reception, and you will not upstage the bride. Okay, so I just want to remind you that we are not.
I'm so nasal. I'm so
girl. Both. I'm draining. So it's the wedding reception is royal blue, silver, and white. You can wear the variations, but you cannot wear all white. Now, if you come up in there with all white, you're gonna have a conversation with Berakah. Okay. All right,
y'all. I think we covered everything. Big shout out and thank you to Malek Moshe and Mora Tawana.
Did you just call this man Malek Moshe?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Dr. Howard, Malek Moshe, Mora Tawana, and also to Miko and Yanira. They do a lot of work. So just told out everybody for joining. We love y'all.
Legit.
Until next time. Deuces.